pick up with what you just said. Are we overly relying on China to discipline and regulate North Korea? Every time somebody mentions North Korea, the first thing out of their mouth is, well, we got to have the Chinese help us.
Sir, my opinion, I don't know that we're overly reliant, but certainly there's actions, for instance, unilateral actions that this body just took that we could certainly apply as well.
Could you give me a list of things that we could do that we haven't done regarding North Korea? Not right now, but later.
Yes, I could.
That would, okay. Have you ever found a situation in military history, modern military history, where sanctions stopped a dictator from acquiring weapons?
I'm not aware. I'd have to look at that, Senator, to be honest with you.
Do you think he cares how his people live?
No, he does not.
Do you think if he had a missile that could reach the United States, he would actually use it against us?
I think that his stated purpose is to protect his regime, and if he thought his regime were challenged, he states that he would use WMD.
Is it in our national security interest to allow the North Koreans to develop missile technology that could hit the homeland?
No, sir.
Would you suggest we use military force if necessary to stop that?
If military force was necessary, yes, sir, but I think we have some other options.
That should be on the table, but that should be one of the options.
Oh, yes, sir.
Do you agree with that, Admiral?
I do.
So I just want the committee to understand that we're about to have to cross a road here eventually. Don't you think that in the coming few years, we're going to have to make a decision about this? Does that make sense to you, Admiral?
It does, Senator, in my opinion.
So say in the next 5 years, and I'm just picking a date out of thin air here, the United States is going to have to make a tough decision regarding North Korea as whether or not to let them know that if you continue down the missile development road, we will attack that program.
At some point, it may come to that.
Do you think it would be good for North Korea to understand that's a consequence of what they're doing?
I think they do understand it, Senator.
Do you think they really believe we would use military force to stop their missile program?
I don't know what they believe.
Okay. What about you, General?
Sir, I'd say the same. I think our difficulty is really understanding their
Could we make it more
calculus.
clear to them? Is it possible to make it more clear to them?
I think it is possible to make it more clear to them. The second thing I would add, Senator, is that, as you look to the future, I'm concerned as well, not only about his nuclear and missile capability, he's developing his cyber capability, he's developing a strategic launch ballistic missile, and he's developing his air defense capabilities. And all of those things in about 5 or 6 years are going to be a more formidable problem.
So in light of the threat that could emerge over the next 5 years from North Korea, if sequestration goes back into effect, does that affect the Army's ability to participate in South Korea effectively?
Yes, sir, it does.
If sequestration goes into full effect, Admiral, what does that do to your ability in your theater?
I think it hurts me greatly, not only for forces that are forward deployed, but also follow-on forces. And I worry most about those follow-on.
So we got a 5-year window here of where North Korea is advancing missile technology and cyber capability. They're becoming more of a threat in the next 5 years unless something changes. Is that correct? Is that what you're telling the committee?
Right.
In the next 5 years?
Though you said 5 years, I did not.
Okay, I'm just picking
Right.
5 years.
Right.
Let's just say in the next 5 years, do you see, if nothing changes, they're going to be a bigger threat to the United States on
Yes,
multiple
clearly,
fronts?
clearly.
Is that true, you, General?
Yes, sir, I agree.
So we got that dynamic. And the Congress's response is to reduce your capabilities in the next 5 years. Is that what Congress is doing to you?
If sequestration remains the law of the land, as I testified during my confirmation hearing, I think it will hurt us significantly in the 2021-2022 timeframe.
So from a policymaker point of view, your military advice to us would be to change that construct?
My military request of you, Senator, would be to end sequestration.
Yeah, because what we're doing is we're having the enemy increasing capability, and we're decreasing your ability to confront that enemy. That's a bad combination. Is that,
Right.
will you both say yes?
And it's not just
In your
North
theater.
Korea.
Yeah.
In my theater, it's globally.
What does North Korea want, General? Just survivability?
Sir, he wants to protect his regime, the Kim family regime, and he wants to establish himself as a recognized nuclear state.
Okay. Admiral, would the TPP be helpful if passed in your region?
It would be helpful to pass in my region.
What if we failed to pass it? Would that,
then the countries in the region will question the seriousness of our commitment to the rebalance, one, and two, they'll turn somewhere else.
would that likely be China?
It will be China.
Thank you both for extraordinary careers.